Jon Jones had the weirdest fan base among all the fighters because he has one of these two types of fan. One that considered Jon as the greatest ever, and the other considers him as a cheater who built his legacy on fighting using steroids and other stuffs. After uploading a short about Dana White's treatment of Jon Jones, I read all the comments, and that's when the idea for this video popped into my head. By the way, I totally don't spend hours reading every comment. Except I do. So go ahead and make my day.
I'm just saying.
Let's start by answering this question. Why does Jon Jones have a lot of haters? Not only as a fighter, but even personally. The controversies surrounding Jon Jones cast a constant shadow over his career. Whenever his name is mentioned, USADA follows.
UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones has been suspended 1 year.
Jon Jones's battle with USADA.
Because I had accused him of using steroids. But if I do feel he did try to cheat, yeah, I do.
This is because Jones has tested positive for performance-enhancing and banned substances on several occasions. Jon Jones first tested positive in 2016 when he was expected to face Daniel Cormier at UFC 200. He popped for 2 banned substances, hydroxychloroquine and letrozole metabolite, both known to be anti-estrogens. Jon Jones was suspended for 1 year by USADA, the anti-doping organization of the UFC at that time. This was the first time Jones was caught doping. After this suspension, Jones came back and defeated then-champion DC at UFC 214. The second time was in July 2017 after beating DC in their return fight. Jon Jones tested positive again, this time for turinabol. Since it was the second time Bones failed a test, USADA punished him with a 4-year ban. However, as Jones passed every test leading up to the fight at UFC 214, except for 1 year in test where he tested positive, the arbitrators reduced his suspension to 15 months. Due to these two situations, many MMA fans labeled Jones as the PD's king and the doping goat, which fueled their dislike for him. In the case of Jones, it wasn't just doping that led to the hate. He also has a lengthy legal history with multiple arrests and charges. Additionally, there are the controversial decisions that come up immediately when mentioning Jon Jones's name. The fights against Gustafsson 1 and Dominic Reyes. To this day, many in the MMA community believe that Dominic Reyes beat Jon Jones at UFC 247. And to be honest, I'm one of them. Yes, I'm one of them. Look, I'm not ignoring Jones's history and legendary career, but he definitely lost that fight. And I can't believe how one of the judges scored it 4-1 for Bones.
That's crazy.
The last reason I'm going to talk about is why Jones is choosing to fight Stipe Miocic over interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall. I think Jones fears that if he loses to Aspinall, people will forget his long career and focus on that loss. He keeps saying he wants Stipe for his resume because he is the heavyweight GOAT. But that's not the case now. Miocic is an older fighter who hasn't competed in 3 years, and the last time he did, he was knocked out by Francis Ngannou. But if he retires after fighting an old Stipe, he will always be remembered as a runner. And please, no one should say he's old and all that because DC accepted the fight against Jon at 35, and everyone praised Jon for the win. So to summarize, Jon Jones's haters have a lot of valid reasons to hate him, but hating Jon doesn't allow you to deny his career. Jones is one of the best fighters of all time, not only in MMA but in general. At the age of 23, he became the youngest fighter to ever win a UFC championship, and he did it in a stacked division, the light heavyweight division at that time. He defended his belt 13 times, putting him at the top of the list for title defenses. He then moved to heavyweight and won the belt to become a double champ.
He's putting
Jon Jones did everything in this sport. He is an entertaining fighter. People doubted him many times, just like they are doing now with Tom Aspinall, but he always proves them wrong. He is good at trash talking and creating rivalries, which is why his fights are always bangers. In conclusion, Jon Jones is one of MMA's most polarizing figures. His career is a mix of incredible achievements and controversies. Whether you see him as the greatest or someone who tainted his legacy, there's no denying his impact on the sport. Love him or hate him, Jon Jones's legacy will be remembered in MMA history.